Hello everyone, it is Rui. I hope everyone is having a good day, afternoon, or night, whatever time it is for you all. So today is episode 8, and from the last video I did, it was actually episode 6. I did say I was feeling burnt out, but since these episodes are basically recorded 2 episodes in advance, I'm technically monitoring like the comments and stuff from when the videos come out, maybe like 2 weeks after or a week and a half after. So thank you for the comments of saying like taking a break is fine. I did take a break. I took like a break yesterday or the past 3 days. It's like May 1st from when I'm recording this. So like at the end of April, I just took a couple of days off. You all probably have seen my post about getting out my Switch Lite to play with again. And for that, what I did was I basically reset the game, and for me, I'm playing like the game on a little bit of a hard mode on that Switch. So while I'm decorating here, I have a second island, which I'm not going to be playing every day. Like from the day that I started working on it, I just took my time traveling, but I did do a lot on that island. I'm not going to like commit to it necessarily. Maybe it will become like a testing ground for me instead of like an actual like island that I plan on decorating, because I can't necessarily like record my Switch Lite. Although technically I could, it would just be a lot of, I think, 30-second clips or less. So it would be a lot to really just string it along and edit and export. So I think that island might be more of a testing ground, because the next theme that I kind of want to tackle, which is so ahead of this modern Japanese one, because I haven't even finished this one, but I may be leaning more toward elegant core, if that's what it's called. Like I want to do city core, obviously, but I think I want to also do some like elegant kind of stuff, like incorporate like the castle in the gray swatch. So I don't know. But for this build, basically I am updating the parking lot area by the train station fake building, just updating the pathing and getting a layout that I would prefer to have instead of just something I had before. So I do spend about a couple hours working on this, but it's sped up, so it's probably like only a couple minutes. But yeah, I basically I did have a little bit of trouble with the area that I just laid down path for, because I didn't know what to put there. I put like store shelves, like the 2.0 item where they have like snacks and stuff on it, thinking I could like put like a little thing there, but I end up not doing that. And I also take out the fake building that I had there before. And while I was on my break from building, I basically was able to think about the villager homes, because that has always been on my mind since probably episode 2 or even episode 3 at the latest, where I'm basically struggling with how I want to put down the houses. And for now, I've decided basically to do one big neighborhood with Dobie and maybe Shino and Audie, and then having at least a couple of houses together, like 2 houses together in one area of the island, and then I will somehow find a place for my own home. I still haven't thought about that, but like the most important things on my mind were basically the villager homes. So here I've decided to actually put down one more villager home instead of over on the left side originally, so it will move. And so basically what I've been working on is neighborhoods and putting down the homes. Just putting that down, and then also starting to put down inclines and more bridges. So I've already started on the bridges, obviously, but I need to start putting down inclines so my villagers can basically walk around instead of them being on the ground level. And I've also decided to just put down like all of the road pathing instead of using another type of pathing. Of course, the temple pathing is custom and that one stays, but for the rest of the island, it's either going to be dirt path or this road custom design, which is on my card, and it belongs to Ali from Origo, and yeah, if I'm saying that right. So I do finish that, but then this area where the car is, like I haven't decided what I want to do with it yet. So I don't know, maybe I'll figure it out, record it, or just build it out and then show you all. I don't know. I am still thinking of what to do there. So yeah, but for this area, I decided to not do a road that goes around, but instead have like more farm plots, so more tea farm stuff. I don't know, just things to add to the farm town theme, I guess. And so here I wanted to test out a lot of stuff, but then I ended up just like going with what I originally had in my mind, which was putting down wheat fields and then the custom banner design, right? Yeah, like for like the railings that we see on highways in North America. So I wanted to put those down because I had a lot of those customized and I didn't know how to incorporate that into the island. So I was like, okay, maybe I could just use some of that here instead of somewhere else. And I wanted to incorporate like a little bit of fishing. That's why I have the yacht down there and the little tin bucket. So yeah, here is the field sign, not the banner. Although it does kind of look like a banner, but I do decide to just use at least, I think 2 or 3, instead of like the whole thing. Sorry, I have a little bit of a cough. Again, I'm not sick. I don't know why this keeps happening. It's probably because of the pollen in the air. I think that's what it is, because like I've been blowing my nose a lot more and just feeling very groggy. So it might be pollen. Yeah, but for my island that I reset on my Switch Lite, I named that one Sencha, which is a tea. And then I was thinking, since right now I'm putting down the plots on the farm right here, that I would actually go for the next island, which is thinking, again, way too ahead, is to come up with a tea name. So I was thinking of going with like my favorite tea, which I love oolong milk tea, so I might go with oolong. I think that'd be a cute name, but it might not fit with what I want to do, which is like, I don't know what I want to do with the next island. I'm still debating if I want to do like fairy core, which I have done before, or like I don't know if I want to do a Japanese theme again. I think that'd be cool. But one thing that'd be cool is like to have the whole island be a building again. Kind of like my Hot Springs Island, where a majority of the island is basically part of a building for a specific theme. So I don't know what to do yet, but I will think of it. But I have to finish this island first, of course. I think that's the important part. And so here I do extend the parking lot up to that side of the stairs instead of having it kind of offset. So instead of having like a fake building there or like a little plot, I just decided to put in that parking lot over there. Although Okay, I'm sorry. I'm thinking logically again of how a car would get up there, so I'm not gonna say it. But yeah, the thing is that building on the Switch Lite, yeah, that's gonna be like testing grounds for what I want to build, but it's not necessarily testing ground because I don't have all the items that I will use on that island, because it's basically, that island is basically like 2020 mode, you know? Like, you can't really get the items unless you go to Nook's Cranny and catalog and all that stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to spend as long of a time on that island, but maybe I will. I did spend like the last 3 days basically time traveling, getting the island to 3 stars for the KK Slider concert, and getting terraforming at least. Like, I accumulated a lot of Nook Miles tickets, and learning from basically the past, I just stocked up a lot of stones. So yeah, I did move Maple's house. Lolly's house will move eventually to that next plot. But Maple's house is here, and spoiler alert, Maple did decide to leave today. So I basically time traveled, went to a treasure island, and got Rosie, which, if you guys were here for that live stream where I was like villager hunting, like I think it was about 157 Nook Miles tickets, I think, or 149, I forget, but it was over 100. That was like a month ago maybe, but I was actually looking for Rosie before I settled for Audie. So I now have Rosie on my island, and on the next episode I will record me decorating her home's exterior and interior. She might be with Punchy. So I may put her with Punchy, which you will see where Punchy's home is, but she will be next to Punchy. I feel like Rosie will be the only like other cat that I think I will have on the island. So I'm very happy with that. And yeah, I finally was able to get Rosie through a treasure island, but that's fine. I'm just glad that I have her. And here I'm finishing up on this parking lot, basically trying to get some like pictures and stuff for myself. And yeah, this was originally supposed to be the thumbnail, but it's whatever. And then I do move Marshall's home, and I think, yeah, since he's okay with it, I just basically move him. And this is just the start of the villager moving from the beaches onto the actual island. So he just ends up moving in next to Dobie's. So he's the one with the little fishing thing yard in his backyard or something like that. So yeah. And then I do keep forgetting that there's actually a home plot in front of Dobie's house, like a little bit diagonal, so I might put Kabuki there. So yeah, and here I am going to work on the neighborhood here, which I wanted to create like another neighborhood, so I didn't have to have all the homes like jumbled together, just incorporate like the fake buildings and just find a way to actually cover this part, because I don't necessarily want to have like the river here or any water like here, so it just works out. And this actually, I worked on this today when I'm recording on May 1st, so I took like 5 days off basically to not do anything except decorate on my Switch Lite. So this is basically me decorating a little bit more while recording, at least. So yeah, I think it turned out pretty okay. Like, I didn't really think about too hard on like what I wanted to do for this part today. I just was like, you know what, F it, I'll just do something here and whatnot. And I am putting in a little pond that's not natural, but just some like a body of water where I can fish, because it kind of reminds me of my family's village. In front of their home they have rice paddies, and they also have like fish actually living there. So I remember my uncle would basically fish like literally in front of the home before they like came to America, and I had like really fond memories of them just like catching fish. And so like that thing like right there, that little body of water, reminds me of that from like my childhood, and also what they did basically last time I saw them in 2019 before they immigrated here. So like the last time I basically traveled to Asia was in 2019. So good memories, I guess. I feel like I have photos or like maybe a video of it, but I'm gonna keep that, you know, personal, of course. But it just reminded me of the little fishies in there. And I wanted to put like some kind of drains here, but then I was like, no, it doesn't work because I don't know if any fish will spawn there because it's not big enough. So there's that. And I did a lot of testing in this area, like build testing, just to see what I could do with it. But it's whatever. Like, I even get rid of that second tier eventually, because at first I wanted to have more fake buildings, like a bigger structure, but then I thought about, well, what about the villager homes? Like, I need to incorporate it here, so I do eventually get rid of it. It's just here for the time being because, again, like, as you can see, I'm like testing it out, seeing what I like, what I don't like, and all that. The one thing that I do have to complain about is, well, no, I always complain about this. Like, when building, you have to take things back into your pockets, move things around. It gets really annoying, but that's just like that's just how the game is. Like, you build slowly so you can have the results that you want to achieve. I do also eventually get rid of the storefronts there, even though right now I'm like getting rid of it and getting rid of the cliff, and then also getting the outline for the villager home in there. I do eventually get rid of those storefronts, so it will look way better at the end, or at least to me it looks way better. So yeah, I do have a lot in my pockets, but I feel like that just happens. Like, you get all these materials, all these decorations that you want, and then you're like, do I put it in there, do I not? And then here I am checking my map because, again, I'm like, okay, 10 villagers, do I have 10 outlines, or at least like homes? I count the homes and I count the outlines. I'm like, okay, this has to be 10. And it does help that I have custom pathing, because then it doesn't show up on the map, unlike the other pathing, so it helps with the count. But I had to do that a couple times. I'm like, is it 10? It has to be 10. And then here I'm putting down road, the road custom pathing. Instead of going like having a straight road all the way with the 3 tiles, like the main road, I put in a road that like circles around, kind of like where Dobie's is. His has like a little circle around, but the middle over there is actually much smaller because I want things, again, to align. Like, everything on this island has to align in some way. No curved pathing, nothing like that. So this actually eventually did work out. Like, I was like kind of amazed with how I was able to kind of visualize how I wanted it to be, kind of predict how I wanted it to look like, at least. And I think that's just fascinating about brains and how we are. So I feel like there is a term for, because I've learned this, I've taken courses in this, but I have forgotten what the term is. But basically, like, it's when your brain can visualize. I'm pretty sure it's visual. Like, visualization is in there. But like, you visualize how you're going to do something. Like, for example, if you're making a sunny side up egg, you would think, okay, I have to visualize that I'm getting the pan or the pot, whatever you use. I have to get, if it's oil, like whatever oil that you're using, or if it's or if you use like stainless steel, if that's what it is, or like just like the steps to basically get a sunny side up egg or like a fried egg. Like, you visualize how you make it, you visualize what the egg should look like, you know, what the edges should look like, how the yolk should look. Like, you visualize it and then you go do it, or you're like visualizing at the same time, if that makes sense. I don't know, I've studied this before, but I just forget all of like all that I remember is positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement. I think that's saying a lot because I basically have a degree in that area, so I don't know. Maybe I just need to like brush up on some like reading or something. Maybe look back on the assignments I've done or something like that. But yeah, while I am building out the little neighborhood here with the bridge that's not really necessary but is necessary for aesthetic purposes, I do have to say that I have been slacking on my language studies, but that's because I needed a break. Like whenever I start something, I like want to go all in. I want to learn at least 50 words a week or something like that, which for me, I feel like that's putting a lot of pressure on myself. Like I'm putting pressure on myself to learn that much for like Mandarin Chinese or for Korean, and it's kind of like, are you serious? Like, really, please think about yourself. So I think I might just take a beat and just try to find some time to like learn some languages that I want to learn, like do a little bit instead of all at once, because then it becomes a chore and then I don't want to learn. So yeah. And then also like taking a break really helps. And yeah, I think that's really what it is. Like you should, for me, I go all in. Like same for drawing. But for drawing, I can actually finish a piece instead of leaving it alone. But sometimes I do abandon a piece, of course, if I really don't want to. But I eventually sometimes get back to it, but sometimes I don't. So there's a lot of work in progresses in my Procreate folder that I have not touched for a while. So yeah, I haven't even like drawn in a while. My mutual is holding an art contest, which I'm really super excited about. Thankfully, the deadline is like in August, so I have time to work through it, but I've already like chosen what I want to do, but reference-wise, I am very stuck on that. So maybe I just need to work on some original character art for a little bit and then circle back. But yeah, I have also been playing The Sims again, where my Sims has a pet and I made a cat. So basically my Sim is just a cat lady. And it's been fun, like, to take care of the cat, like, see how much the cat, like, hates computers and TVs. Like, my Sim basically can't even work on their career stuff on the computer without having the cat hiss at it, and then basically, if it's not, like, a building of a skill, thing, then the Sim will, like, not stop. But if it's, like, gaming or just random surfing on the internet, and the cat hisses, then they'll stop, which is really funny. So even watching TV, like, my Sim cannot watch TV without the cat hissing. So then they just turn to, like, reading, which is fine because their Simology is them, like, wanting to, like, learn more, and their career is them being an educator. So they just end up reading, which they're fine with. So I'm like, okay, but can the cat stop hissing at the computer so they can get their, like, skills up for their career? Like, it's just really funny, but the cat's really cute. And aside from that, for my break, I am going to get a haircut tomorrow, so wish me luck. Probably by the time this video is out, it's gonna be like the end of the week, so like the second week of May maybe. But I'm gonna get a haircut. Hopefully it goes well. I have that tomorrow, so hopefully, yeah. It's hard for me to like get a haircut, but like the hairstylist that I've been going to since I was maybe 12, yeah, they have been cutting my hair since I was 12. They're just like a master at hair cutting, like cutting hair basically. Like, I've tried a couple other people because they have been very difficult to get a hold of, because like they're booked basically for like really, really long periods of time. So it's just like hard to find a new hairstylist or just anyone to do your hair. And yeah, I mean, I've only been going to Asian hairstylists since I was a kid, because 1, they speak our language, 2, they know how Asian hair is and they've studied it, like some of them have, so we just go to them. But like my hairstylist finally has time. I went to his like business partner, who's also a hairstylist, like months ago. They did a fairly good job, but like I wasn't really happy with it, and or at least I was pretty okay with it. My family was not, because me and my family members share a hairstylist. So my family members were like, nope, no, I need to have our original one. Let's just wait until they have time. And so they have time now. They have time tomorrow. So I'll be going in tomorrow to get a haircut. Hopefully, because like the way my face shape is, I need to get a specific haircut that makes it look like not my face shape, or like it frames my face like very well. I don't want to say too much, but I feel like my face kind of looks like my avatar. Yeah, like the face shape basically. So not to say like I'm like basically an Animal Crossing character in real life, but my face shape is basically round and square. So, and wide at the same time. Although, maybe I should get the haircut that my avatar has. I think that'd be really cute. But I don't want to get bangs, because I did get bangs once. And I had bangs as a kid. I looked cute, but that's because I was a kid. Like, I was like little. I was a cute little, toddler, but now I'm an adult. I don't think bangs would look okay on me, because then it would like literally shorten my face even more. So avatar will stay with the bangs. But I was thinking of getting like the princess cut, the orihime cut with no bangs. So I got curtain bangs last time. I do like how they look, but I don't style my hair, so I think that's just the issue. But yeah, this part of the build, I had no idea what I was doing, so I apologize. Because I think, I did re-record this part over again, like this voiceover, but I did write down that I want to put down my house in this cliff area, so this may be kept or may not be kept, because I want to have my home be like a tea house, kind of. Like, you come in for tea, like a cafe, but you also get to learn about tea production or something like that. I may just have to think about how I'm going to build that in my home, but I think I will be moving my home here, so it can be like the destination for the teas. For tea. For learning about tea, I guess. I wrote it down, but in the next episode, that'll probably be part of the build. I just have to think about how I want to build this out and where I want to put my home, obviously, because even though I was thinking of putting it in front of Nook's Cranny and Able Sisters, I don't know if I want to do that. Plus, that area will probably be like an open area. I'm not sure for what. Maybe I will make a park or something like that, but we will find out in the following episodes. I also will be, I'm hoping that this series ends up being like maybe 10 episodes or 11 or 12. It's either going to be 10 or 12 episodes, and then I can just go back to thinking about if I really want to get rid of this island, if I really want to restart, which most likely will be yes. But I'll just have to wait and see. I don't know yet. I really don't know. Everything is just like so confusing. Especially since like there's so... Again, I'm running into the issue of having areas on the island which I don't know how to decorate. So there's that. So I'm having some issues right now with that, but... yeah, oh, and here I was thinking of like what I wanted to do for the thumbnail, which I eventually do because I do time travel to the next day when I can put in Punchy's home. So there's that. But yeah, that's basically a lot of the build was just updating and creating new areas from a past recording, so not necessarily anything too big that I did in this episode. So yeah, just more neighborhood, and then I end up decorating a little bit more after this, just putting in some decorations that I think would fit in here, just filling up the space so it doesn't feel too empty. And here is where I do end up putting in a lot of decorations. I was thinking of putting the well here, and I eventually moved that because I was like, I want to use the well in some way, but again, it will be used, just not over there. And here I'm just arranging a lot of furniture. Again, I want to use more pine trees, of course. I think I might incorporate that more in the decoration of my home and the exterior, so I might use a lot more of the pine trees there. And here I do push the party lights arch a lot because I'm trying to like fit in more of the street lights and everything, but I eventually just stick with one. And I don't turn on the island designer because I feel like I don't need it because I'm just laying down pathing. So I use a lot of like the cardboard boxes and steel fence and everything else. So just a lot of brushing up of area. So like this is like considered an area, like a mini area that I'm decorating. And I think it turns out pretty well. So yeah, and I think I will put Rosie's home over there on the left. So Punchy's home will be here, and then I'll move Rosie to the back so she can be near my house because I've always wanted her to be on the island, so it just works out that way. And I will probably put in more decorations in front of her home, but for now I am just putting in the car, which I may change to pink because she's purple. Or I'll switch it, like I'll switch the pink car with the black car, so it will look nice. And then yeah, here I am putting in the well, just squeezing that in there, just making a little area that probably like fits in, because I didn't want it to be like a entrance to the beach because there's so many ways to get to the beach, basically. Like I feel like my last build, there was not a lot of ways to get to the beach except through either the Zen Garden or the Torii Gates. Yeah, there's that. And then I think, yeah, so I moved Punchy's home, sorry. I'm always thinking about Marshall. Like that squirrel is always in my head. But yeah, I do move Punchy's home, which is why his home is in the thumbnail, because he's in the new neighborhood. And so I think, yeah, this is when I traveled to the... Oh no, I didn't. So this is when I'm just going back. I keep forgetting that it stopped raining. I think I also might change Punchy's roof, but I think it still looks nice. So you know what? I'm gonna keep it, but we'll see. We'll see what happens in the final tour. Oh, so then that means that I might end up with 13 episodes if there's like a final tour. Although it won't technically be a building episode, so it'd just be like its own video. So yeah, I probably will end up with 12. And then I do keep forgetting that there is a home there, right in front of Dobie's house. Again, it's just, I don't know why I keep forgetting it, so I might put Kabuki there. Or Raymond, actually. Raymond might fit in that area. Also, Dobby asking me to go on an adventure is just so sweet. He's so cute. And yeah, this is actually where Marshall's home is. I usually forget to put down pathing, but I sometimes just like go around and just drop some pathing onto the ground and just cover that area. I think I will put Audie and Shino's home here. So yeah, I'm still iffy on this fake building, but I think I'm gonna keep it. Oh, and I do eventually put in an incline here, so I put in an incline for the temple. It's gonna be a stone one. Which, it looks amazing. So, I finally am putting in more inclines. And, yeah, so thank you so much for watching. If you've listened to the end, watched until the end, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Dobby is trying to steal the spotlight. But yeah, I am feeling a lot more inspired after taking a break, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!